Ooh, hey guys, here we are live, and it's a short day, only about an hour. Got lots to do. Got to teach a class, a couple of classes, all types of stuff I have to get done, and there's no show tomorrow. I have a previous engagement, and but I'll be back on Thursday. But I'll do this, and gearing up for Kickstarter stuff. I got to figure out how that's done. I've never done one before, but I was showing my stuff to Rick Barry over the weekend, and he said he thought the whole thing was going to be magnificent. So, hey, Rick Barry said it's going to be magnificent. It's going to be magnificent. So, y'all watch it, okay? So, I'm just showing today a video of what I did over the weekend, which is putting up word balloons and adding dialogue and stuff like that. You guys who do web comics or hey, any type of comics, um, doing the word balloons in Illustrator is an old pain in the tail. And I just show you how I do it. I do it on the fly. I don't do pre-made ones, and I'm going to show it double speed today so that nobody goes, boy, I wish he'd do something. So let's see how fast I can get this thing done. So I would get my fonts. I use this free font I found called Web Letterer. And then I have to put my tools in the correct place. Then I do my ellipse, my first ellipse. And I've lost my control bar. See, that's a great thing about being me. It's like it's so difficult being sometimes being an old man. And then toolbar, basic. There it is. Okay. And I have to do all this crap again. Anyway, see, and when I only have this on regular speed, it just takes forever for you to see me do anything. So now I'm going to do it real fast, twice as fast as I did. See how fast my cursor is going all over the place? Woo-hoo! New pages out at blueboybrown.com. I'm up to page 114 to 118 is what I did this week, which is a good amount of work. That's what you'll see seeing me do today. And that means I only have 30 pages to do. Now, I've got 10 of them already in the can. That all I have to do is put the word balloons in, but the coloring's already done. So you get those things done. You notice that when I put two shapes like that together, two primitive shapes like that. By the way, I finally figured out. You see this here? All this time I've been having my type on white. That's why I've been getting those little nothings. I finally figured that out, like in the middle of this. Oh, I won't have to probably mess with that again. But when I take these shapes, I merge them. I also label them in my layer panel. And then I know exactly where I'm going to have to edit later on if I have to. And you never know when you're going to have to. Well, when I when I do a print version, which is real soon, you guys who love print comics, I see I misspelled thimbleful. I'll go back and fix that because thimble. Well, I've seen that word before. It is not with two L's. Anyway, I do these regular shapes, and then I do my well, I have to move it around. And I end up making another layer to toast. The marriage. Probably should have. Well, I guess I did it all right. And then I have to blend these two together. And then I have to put a tail on it. And you use the Pathfinder shape modes merging to do that. It's right over there. You'll see me go over there and I go click on it and it's together and it's really cool. We should do it 1.5 speed. Let me see if there's any way you can do 1.5 speed. Nah, I don't think there is. Oh, there's no way to do 1.5 speed. That'd be nice. I think it's one. If you did it in like iMovie, you could do it at 1.5 speed, but I'm not gonna do it on iMovie. I might. I lost my entire audience. Yeah, that's me. Must not be a whole lot of hillbillies out there. Are people not interested in a story couched 100 years ago, which tell you a whole lot about today? But people don't realize that history is a discipline that informs the present. I had to mess with this a little bit. Mom's pissed off. Okay, bear children. Da, da, da. Do 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 do. Okay. And I got to resize. Well, what I'm going to do is we'll just add another ellipse and put them all together. And bring it up a tiny bit. Then I'm going to use that little thing there to put them together and then put a tail on it. And then I move on to panel 3. Panel 3. So now I think I finally, yeah. I was going to use a a dialect of a Midwestern or Midwestern, I think, dialect of wasn't tweren't, but I decided not to. That might be a whole lot of people who didn't know what tweren't meant, even though it does say the word weren't in it. Hard to believe, though, in the high school, they taught Latin in a public high school. They taught Latin in a public high school. You don't see Latin taught anywhere. Maybe it's taught in Catholic schools, but you don't see it taught in public schools anymore, from what I can tell. Finally figured that out, but it wasn't that time. And I decided to put them to bed because he is carrying both of them. Well, I told you, well, nobody's watching, so it doesn't matter that the washing machine is on, and we need to go get somebody to come in and fix that dang thing. Anyway, I'm about to finish up this page. I've noticed I'm not using a whole lot of narration in the pages that I'm doing lately. I haven't used a whole lot of narration. Doesn't seem necessary. It's right there. What's going on? There's a lot of narration going on in comics. You'll remember reading all types of stuff in Marvel back in the '60s, and there'd be all types of stuff by Stan Lee saying stuff that I didn't really think needed to be said, but maybe it's because they always doing some silly kind of stuff. Here's the first page that's I put up on Monday morning. And then this is the next one. Then I have to put my copyright and my web page address right down there. And then I get ready to go do page 116. And I spelled thimbleful correctly. What else do I have to do here? Oh, I don't see the cursor moving around. Maybe I took a break. I don't think so. Well, I have to admit the Tour Championship was on NBC for golf, and I was watching Was I doing that then? What time was it? 10:15? No, that's yesterday. Well, I don't have the. Yeah, I don't have it. I don't know what time it was when I was doing this. Probably doing it. Yeah. Well, maybe I was doing this Saturday night. I don't know. I think I did the first page Saturday night. What's going on here? Okay, go for it, guys. When I do it at 3, 5 times, and that way it'll get it really done. Well, okay. Okay. Now I decided to go back and do a lot of stuff on page 114. Maybe I should bring that back a little bit. Yeah, I got that. Okay. Now I'm back to. Okay, I decided to go to back to Photoshop and do some editing. Page 115, because there's a lot of lines in there that were kind of what I call scritchy scratchy, and I didn't like them. They started creating what is called visual noise, not actually constructing space or defining form, just just being there. So I decided to erase a bunch of junk that I had in there and do some redrawing. Now here's where the part is. It's real nice to have you going at double speed, because then you don't have to watch me try to make up my mind what I'm doing. And it does kind of leave some artifacts from what you did before, but that's not such a bad thing. I really went to town on this one. And then it did a bunch down here too, because it didn't like this very much either. Make it a tiny, tiny, tiny brush, and then just do a bunch of redrawing. I have to go recolor this a little bit. Draw like Speedy Gonzalez here. Woo! Sometimes when you, actually, most of the times when you blow it up and make it really, really big, it's a whole lot easier to draw on it. Then I take the smudge tool and I kind of blend in some of this color areas because they're a little too sloppy. And so I'm kind of, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm playing it by ear. It looks good. It looks good enough that I've done it. I don't have some kind of set thing I do that tells me that I have to do every time. I just kind of, whatever works. Then I gotta get some of the sloppiness out of this. Do. I had to fix that a little bit because I didn't want that all splotched up. Looks like it did. Well, I started to get there. Now I do this stuff down here. And I noticed that I didn't get all of the let me see. Do I have all this? That's how it looks so horrible at print size. So I'll go back to Illustrator. I think. Yeah, I'll always save it. Yeah, I have. If you save it as a source file for your Illustrator file, all you have to do is go back to Illustrator, it'll update. And there you got it. Now I just put I only think I have I don't have that much dialogue in here. This is not a big dialogue page. Well, what you doing now? Sometimes I think I get stuck. Okay. Okay. Oh, I think it gets stuck in that one page, and then I have to like jag it on. Let's see if it comes back. I have to redo that again. Now, am I going to do something? Okay, now I'm doing something. Okay. I'm putting in the text labels, and I have to redo all the. It's a shame. I'm going to have to figure out some way to make web letter BB my default type instead of Myriad Pro, which I haven't figured that one out. Like this is where I figured out why I was messing up my lettering and not getting the. I did that wrong. I have to fix that, but that's not difficult. Okay. So now I got one more balloon to do, I think. Not a complex page. So my old, I'm an old high school teacher, retired for about last 4 years, but I've been substituting my old school um, before the pandemic, at least. And the school newspaper did a little thing on me, uh, and didn't. I don't know if they got everything right, but they did a good job. They're sweet kids. Just old. You teach at a place for a quarter of a century, and it's like home. But this whole pandemic thing's kind of ruined that. I may be too old to return, and substituting's kind of fun, but sometimes fun. You got really, really great kids. And sometimes you get really, really great kids when you're substituting, and it's just makes up for all those years when they put every kid they thought they're gonna have problems with in my class because I was 6'3", and they said, "Okay, you can handle them." I pretty much did, but still, ooh. But that's high school teaching for you. Yeah, then we go on to the barn. This is page 115. And I actually changed to that. I didn't have to worry about whether or not. See, what I've got is I've got all these pages are separate QuickTime. Um, they're all separate QuickTime movies, and I just merged them together for the broadcast today. And they're just skipping on to the next one. Anybody who uses QuickTime knows that you can add a file at the end of this section, and they'll just play it. And that's what I'm doing today. So I thought I was having problems with it, but it doesn't look like I'm having problems now. I'm glad of that. Probably about 20 more minutes of this. I look at it, 58, 55 left. I got about 23 minutes left. Not going to be a long thing today. Boo, 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 boo. This little section here enables me to do my little lecture about guns. I know a lot of people own guns. Oof. Never appealed to me too much, but hey, I'm writing a story about people living in the country on farms. There's going to be guns because they hunt and they don't own firearms like this for anything other than they just like guns, and so they collect them. They don't use them for nothing. I'm no expert on it, but I suspect back in these times, if you were, let's say, somebody came to your property and started messing around, you probably wouldn't get out a handgun. You get out a rifle. Rifle is much more accurate. You can shoot a rifle very accurately. Whereas a gun, especially these antique guns, you can be standing 20 feet away and miss. So these are collector's items, that's all. My main goal probably, and my main goal in a lot of these thing is to just to demonstrate the love this family has for each other, even when they gripe at each other. And families do gripe at each other. And whoever in a family didn't gripe. Okay, I think that's this page. Yeah, now we're putting in the copyright stuff. This went real fast, especially when going double speed. Do 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 do. I think this is where I figure out that it's the color. Well, no, maybe it wasn't the color. I don't know. Sure does appear to be the color of the dad burn. Nope, I still had the color correct. I'm not sure why. Sometimes I click on the type tool and I get these crosshairs, and why? Uh, Let's see what I do there. Put the pointer in. I suspect I'll have a lot more. My characters will be a lot more verbal when I do a hard copy version because I've said this before. I guess I'll say it again. Is that um, when you're doing a web comic, as I'm doing right now, the yeah, the fonts have to be big so you can read them on the phone. You have to format it for the most difficult uh, platform to read, and that'd be the phone. So I did it that way. Did it so it would read on a phone. When you look at a comic book, though, the letters aren't going to be as big. This is 34 point uh, fonts. You don't need that big. You can do 20 point or something like that. Probably get away with it. You know, I'll figure that out when I'm redoing these things. As I redo the pages for the hard copy, I'll figure out exactly what a perfect um, looking page looks like, the size of the font, and then I'll just use that throughout it. It might be something like 2022. I used 24 for the copyright notice, and I don't think I have a printout right around here anywhere. But I have 12 point. I printed out some stuff in 12 point, and they're huge, absolutely huge. Even 14 point, huge. So I may not need anything. I may be able to put in a whole lot more dialogue and a lot more narration too. I got to figure out a way because I don't want that. This is the edge of the panel. I don't want it out way out there because this is the gutter and it might be difficult to read. So I just want to be careful and maybe pull that in a bit. See whether or not I was smart enough to do that. Even though I did this Sunday afternoon, but I was watching Dustin Johnson golf and stuff like that. And Dustin Johnson and Justin Thomas doing it and seeing whether or not Xander Schauffele would catch up with Johnson. He didn't. But he came in second. Poor guy only made $5 million. It is funny. Only made $5 million. Gee. See why Dustin Johnson wanted that on his resume. Yeah, $15 million for the first place. Yeah, that'll do it. It's hard to cry for these guys. I decided before I leave this page, I decided to put a little shine on Pa's nose. So I have to go back into Photoshop, put a little shine on Pa's nose, and then it'll update automatically on in Illustrator, which is nice, real nice. I love uh, Adobe's Creative Cloud, the way that all the apps are linked. It's just wonderful. We have really gotten to the point where the whole thing that Adobe's been doing all these years, except maybe Animate. I preferred Macromedia's Flash to their Animate. Uh, Flash was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. They didn't have to mess with it, and they did. And now I can't figure out how to use it. But I only do comics. I don't do animations anymore. My old buddies at Ari Romero Graphics do it, but I left the animation thing a long time ago. Just don't have enough time for it, and it's best done in teams. If you're gonna do something ambitious in animation, you can't do it by yourself. And I do pretty much everything by myself. I do all the lettering and the coloring, the inking, blah blah blah, the writing. I'm too difficult to get along with. To work in a team or something like that. That's why I could probably never work for a comic book company, because they'd say, redo this. I'd say, you go kiss my butt. And I would have gotten fired real quick. They would have liked me. Gotta learn to be humble when you're doing that stuff. I was too much of a jerk when I was a kid. Oh well, can't have everything. Do 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 do. What is this page? 118. We're almost finished up. We'll show you how I export them for the web, for the screens, and then we're done. We're done. I don't know if there's anything else I have to talk about. What would I talk about? Finally, I got 3 people watching. Let me see if anybody's watching me on Twitch. One on Twitch. There's usually one person on Twitch. God bless you, little fart. And 2 people on. And probably the Twitch guy just left. Nope. It was the Facebook person left. People come in and come out doing these things. I've done it before myself too. Just got time to watch everything that's available, especially all the crazy things going on in the world, which I'm gonna stay clear of. I'm too old to worry about these things. I'll be in heaven soon. And it'll be a lot better in there. I'll meet Clarence the angel from. I'm kidding. Okay, and I have to move this thing around because I'm not really sure where I want it. I don't want it to. Actually, probably would be all right there. I think I do put it right there, somewhere around there, just so I don't. Yeah, understand. Yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah, one point I think I was hiding the silhouette, and the silhouette's too important to hide. I can I can partially hide Blue Boy's leg, but you still know Blue Boy's leg's there. Whereas the silhouette, it's like boom, you get it right there because it's high contrast, and you always focus, boom, on high contrast. So you don't want to hide it in any way. You don't want to yeah, you want to make sure that nobody looks. Yeah, it's got to be completely. Yeah, I have to um, to completely reposition that. Okay, another one over there. Okay. Okay, now I gotta completely move it. See, if you don't, you're gonna obliterate gonna ruin that panel. So what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? So, nope, that's not gonna work. You have to put it over here. It's the only place it can go. Yep. And you grab it hold of the text. You got to make sure you don't deform it and turn it into a different size font. All types of stuff to do. Okay. That's the best I could do. And you got the lower panel to do, and then we're done. At about what? 9 minutes ago. About a little over 9 minutes to go. It's not going to take long to get this one done. Yeah, we'll do this about an hour. Then I'll finish up and yammer on and for a little while and get ready for teaching college classes. I teach art history. Well, I think I finally figured out how to get the text tool to work every time. I hope so. Now I got a piece of dialogue that pause says that won't fit in here. So I'm going to put it over on the next page, which will run next week. It'll be all right. You won't notice these things when you're looking at it, reading it as a comic book. There are people who are saying that very soon there won't be any print comic books, but yes, there will, because people are always going to want to read print comic books. Now, it may be a kind of uh, uh, holdover from the days of the comic book racks and stuff like that, but people are still going to want to see beautifully printed comic books. As far as I know, they're not going to have million print runs or even 25,000 or something like that. Uh, but there'll still be little boutique comic book printing places like I'm doing. Uh, that people are going to want to see these things beautifully printed. And hey, there's a smaller. I went through college and graduate school in painting and fine arts and etching and everything. It's a really tiny compared to the rest of the world. Art world's are really tiny. There's a very small number of people who do it, but people still want paintings. You can have all the digital art you want in the world. People are still going to want paintings because paintings have a certain thing about them. The presence of the canvas and the oil paint and the blah blah blah. There's nothing else like it in the world. Digital doesn't cut it. Digital doesn't look as beautiful as that because digital can be any size and it's gonna it's gonna look like what it looks like now, what you see. But the feel of paper, the vibrancy of it, nothing like it. So it'll last, but it may change. It'll change. Everything changes. It just won't. It won't be like those. I'm on a Facebook group called Comic Book Historians. They regularly put in photographs of like from the 1940s and or the late 40s, early 50s, and you'll see a comic book rack with hundreds of issues of comic books, hundreds. And back then, like a billion comics were being sold every month. It's crazy, but it changed. Wortham, we can thank Frederick Wortham for that and the comic code and everything like that. Though that's all come back. All the things that he was ticked off about, now they're mainstream. Walking Dead and all these vampire things, all the horror things. Everybody's reading that stuff now. The same stuff that he hated. Now it's there. You're not gonna do anything about it. Uh, Stuff that you see in comic books now are nothing compared to what you see on cable. Now I reposition this. I go back and I take a look and say, what do I have to do to fix this and that? Because I don't want this balloon to be edging out in over the panel border. I'd just rather not do that, so I'll just sacrifice a little bit of this and that. It'll unfortunately, hide Pa's shoulder, but gotta make sure I don't go over that edge too much. Move it over a tiny bit, I think. Where am I? I got 7 seconds. No, seven. Is that? I got 7 minutes. Okay, good. About 3.5 minutes of real time here. So, what am I doing? Okay, now I'm gonna go export these things. So now where am I? What am I doing now? Yep, that's what I did. A strange thing. Let me see if I go back. Huh. See if I can get this going. Okay, now I got my. Oh, what's going? What am I doing up there? Well, if I stop this and do this again, you'll see that I. Ah! Okay, I'm just going to leave it like that. Page 114. I'm going to export for screens. Okay, I wanted to export 114. Export the artboard. Uh, Isn't this what I did? Yeah, I didn't show me doing this on Saturday. Did it? Okay, I'll go get this. Run this. Once I get this all done, then I'll go find one. 14 because I only did 115 to 118. So, oh well. So I got that out, and I successfully did that. Bring it over here. That's what it looks like. We'll do 116. Yep. Well, guys, this is how it's done. You want to put something on the web, and I found that 1300 pixels wide fits on a smartphone real well. That's why you see that 1300 pixels. I do 1300 pixels wide, and it fits perfectly on a phone. One of them I use a 24-bit ping, the other one an 8-bit ping. They don't seem to be a whole lot of difference between the two, except that the size of the 8-bit is a whole lot smaller. So it's not going to it's going to have as big a file, which they kind of scrunch them up on when you put them in WordPress. They kind of compress them anyway. So I don't know if it makes any difference whether or not you have a large file or a big file or a small file, but it doesn't seem to make any difference in the quality. That looks pretty good. I'm going to have to go through all types of horror when I do a print version for 148 pages. I have to go through every file and re and get it ready for print. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. Oh well. Fortunately, I did everything. I designed everything for CMYK, which is what you do for print. So these are exported to RGB, but the originals are CMYK. So at least I don't have to mess with that. I have to figure out from my printer exactly what his specs are. And there we got that. So where are we? About 1 minute to go. I moved these things around. What I wanted to do was take a screenshot of them, know what they were kind of going to look like in a spread. This 117, this 118 will be kind of by itself. You'll see this page and this page will be together. This page and this page will be together. This page will be on the left side of the spread. Now, open recent. Do I have page? I do have page 115. So I'll get that when I finish showing this stuff off. So I'm completely amazed that I've been working on this thing for 2 years. And I got to figure out how to get books 2 through 9 done in less than 2 years because I can't. If I was to do it 2 years at a time, we're talking about what, 16 years? I may not be alive 16 years from now. I probably won't be. I don't want to be doing this for 16 years. Now, I can see doing it for the next 8 years. I want to get this down to where I'm doing it one book a year. And whether or not you guys follow me and want to read the book or not, I'm still going to do it. I know what the story is. I know it's going to kick tail and take names. And I've shown it to Rick Barry. Rick Barry has a long experience. Been working with Gaiman and King and William Gibson and everything like that. He knows how to read. He's smart as they come, and he loves this. And so I'm going to say this is going to be a cool thing. I'm going to open this thing up, and I'm going to stop this. Nope. Is this 115? I want a 114. 114, page 114. Yeah, that's what I want. Yep. Okay, I'm going to stop this screen. And then I'm going to share this. And it's about another 20 minutes. And so I'm going to show that, and I'm going to speed it up to twice its speed also. This is page 114, which is the first thing I should have shown, but that's what I did on Saturday afternoon. I said, I'll get a little bit ahead of myself. And I was going to do 2 or 3 pages, and then I didn't do them. I went and watched a movie with the wife. Marriage is more important than anything. You gotta spend some time with your wife, or you know, can't live for yourself, just yourself. Oh, so mine's not too happy that these guys have gone on over. And okay, you went and got yourself a new wife. We've had a few of those. I haven't gotten along with them. None of them, even though this is the first one that took even the slightest interest in going to the kitchen and help and making food. The rest of them just sitting on a sofa and read movie magazines. This is like the beginning of the movie magazine world in the 1910 or something like that. Movies were becoming a big deal, so they started movie magazines. Well, this young lady that Paul had made the mistake of marrying, she just sit on the sofa and read movie magazines and let Ma and everybody else just wait on her. That didn't last too long. So I'll have this done real soon. You got to figure out where these go. So this is another one of those CMYK things. Even though you see RGB up here, I don't use RGB. RGB will be event. It doesn't matter if this is RGB because the Photoshop file is CMYK, and I'm going to export this as a CMYK when I go for my hard copy comic. Now, does this work? No, I had not figured it out. I was going crazy with this text stuff. That drive you nuts. There. My wife keeps saying, "Why is this woman always angry?" I says, "Because she comes from a stable family that has lived in the same place for more than a century. And then she marries this guy who is obviously, when he was younger, who was a lot better looking. And now she's been wandering like a gypsy for who knows how long. And she's tired. She wants to settle down, buy a house. Not going to happen. Not soon." Not this book. Show. Okay, I got a. Somebody made a comment, and of course I wasn't looking at my comments. So, okay, no. Yeah, okay. I'm lettering at smartphone size, and I get to size. I'll do a rewrite for dialogue and narration because I because if you make it print size on a smartphone, which I saw the guy who um, kind of inspired me to go back into comics, Jason Brubaker. He his first comic as a web comic, he did it all for print size. You couldn't read the dang thing. He did it for the web. Actually, must have done it for the web. And when you got on a smartphone, you couldn't read it. It's just the print size, just the font size is just way too small. And that told me, well, okay, then I'm going to have to go back into my uh, back into my years as a poet and really compress the dialogue. Only what I can fit onto a page and what is necessary, and paraphrase things that I had put in the comic book script and in the novel was long paragraph, and you just can't put all that in there. You'll have It'll look crazy. So when I'm going to have to experiment with that, and in the experiment with that, I'm going to just do printouts. I've got about 3 different printers here. I'm going to do one on. I've got an Epson Workforce 7720, which is a wonderful printer, and I can print it on real thin pages of 13 by 19, which is more than big enough for a 7 by 10 comic book, and I can look at exactly how it'll read, and that's the size I'll use. And then I'll just put everything. I'll just resize all of the fonts to that size, and I get to be a little more verbose, say more than like here. She was going to say an awful lot of stuff, but she just didn't have room. And I think the whole thing about guns and everything, Paul was saying a lot more there, but I can't fit it all in, and that's just life. But you can do it with if you're using like the difference between 34 point and 20 points, huge difference. Let me see. What did I do? Did I think what did I do? I did something. Yeah, okay, I'm still here. I'm gonna have to add. I have to a few little balloons here. think I'm getting messages from a dear friend of mine. Looks like a decent. Okay, good. No, that's not them. Okay. Nope, I'm not getting messages from a friend. Anyway. Anyway, I hope you guys like this. I've got a wonderful friend in Hungary named Milan Kovacs. What? Okay, I think. And he's given me all types of. He's had a successful Kickstarter campaign back in July and August for All Star Comic, and which is not a superhero comic book. It's really about a coming of age teenage story comic book, which in a way mine is too, except it involves the entire family. This guy here is 12 years old, uh, and he's 6'8", which is not much different. My brother is 6'7", and when he was not much older than that, he was about 6'5". And I was about 5'8". I'm 6'3". I was about 5'8" until I was about my junior in high school. But this uh, this kid is not a giant. He doesn't have giantism. Giantism, you'll get 7'4", 7'5", really really big. Whereas this kid's just going to be, if uh, he'd been living now, he'd be probably playing basketball instead of being a lumberjack. Uh, I'm getting all types of messages uh, come up here, and I don't even know where they're coming from. I don't have Messenger open, but anyway, next time they look, I'm going to see whether or not they're on the screen. Fortunately, I did this for application, not the screen, so you can't read my messages that are coming up. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, this kid is huge, but it's not because of giantism. He's just a big, big kid, and um, they fed the kids well, which I kind of know from. I base this basically on my family history. The family that I base this on, everybody's over 6 feet tall, and it's been that way for like 3 generations. Before that, the little guy, Grandpa, is 5'6", something like that. The real one, the one I based it on, which is my great great grandfather, who was a lumberjack. He was about 5'6". Then his son married this woman, who is the woman I base Catherine on, though I base her on a couple of women, personality types and stuff like that. Because I don't think she was that upset about moving and everything like that. But he married this woman, and everybody since then's been way over 6 feet. My brother's 6'7". I'm 6'3". Uh, my uncle James is 6'4". My father's 6'1". Uh, the smallest guy was 6 feet. Just something happened. None of them have giantism or anything like that. Now, I guarantee you, when you're big, it's not a bouquet of roses because everybody wants you to pick things up, and you hurt yourself. Eventually, you're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt your back or something like that. No wonder people have back problems. I put myself through college uh, as an orderly, and when you're a 6'3", 200-pound orderly, they want you to pick up everybody. They want you to pick up these 250-pound people and everything like that. Occasionally, you'd hurt your back, you have to go on workman's comp for 3 or 4 days. Ugh. Back then, they give you muscle relaxers, which they wouldn't give you now. I think if you asked for them, they wouldn't because there's such a prescription drug epidemic. Back then, you'd go to the emergency room and they'd give you muscle relaxers. You'd be on muscle relaxers for 3 or 4 days. And that didn't work, did it? Maybe I can make it bigger. Now, what I take for when I have back problems, which I don't have them too often, I've learned you, when you're a big guy like me, you learn how to deal with these problems like um, back problems. I haven't had any back problems for 3 years. Been 3 years since I had my back went out on me. So that's a pretty good long time. You just learn how to deal with it. Now they give you something called Voltaren, which used to be a pill. And now they don't make the Voltaren pills. They just make it as a generic. And I can't take it because it just does a number on your stomach. It's just really highly um, just just gives you fits. But now they make it in a gel that you can buy it over the counter, and it's far better than taking any muscle relaxers. I wouldn't take those or anything like that. You'd sleep for days. But getting back to this guy, this kid's 6'8", so this is sort of like a coming of age story, just like uh, Milan Kovac's story is, except it's all surrounding historical things. There's a lot of things going on. I did a lot of, I spent many years studying the history all the way from the Civil War to the present so that I would write this with some authority. So I know a lot about Arkansas in this time, and I know a lot about other things during this time that I'm not going to mention because I don't want to give my story away. But I did an awful lot of research, such as very few places you'd find integrated workforces. You'd find them in lumberjacking. They didn't have integrated, bunkhouses or something like that, but they had something of an integrated workforce. Wasn't there is no perfect world, but that's a good anyway. Makes for a good segue into book two. Okay, I'm getting there. Okay, I think I misspelled image, lamage. Sorry. Okay, and then this is page 121. For some reason I had that up there. So, Hazma, I hope that answered your question. If you're still watching, um, if you do print size uh, when you're just doing web comics, which is what I'm doing now, nobody will be able to see what you're writing. This this is I haven't gotten to working out where am I? I'm at 0. Okay, there I am. Okay, that is the entire thing. If you if you do everything the way you do, oh yeah, goody. Get rid of that, get rid of that, and here I am getting rid of this. No, I'm not going to save it. Delete that. Yeah, because I got page 115, 114. What's this? That's a screenshot or something. Okay. So, so uh, I will be back tomorrow. It's about 11:20. It's a lot shorter show than it usually is, but I got all types of stuff to do, including teaching college art history. It's a, and then I'm not going to have a show tomorrow because I have previous engagement. Got to do something real important. But I'll be back on Thursday with Paige. Where am I? Page where would I be? Page. Let's open up Photoshop and see where I've been. Then I'll share my screen. Share this screen. Where am I going to be? I've done page 121, 124, 123, 122, 125. I need to go fix that. I've got a couple of pages. I got a couple of panels I haven't finished. I was lazy when I did them. So I'm up to but I'm on page 126. 126. Where's 126? Don't think I've done page 126. Where's one page 120? There's 125, which I need to kind of mess with. 126. I've already done 126. Where is 126? Where did I take you? 126. 126. I know I've got you done. 126. Where are you, boy? There's 126. I'm blind as a bat. This is the latest one I've done. This, I did this. And then 127. Where are you? 127. Come on. 127. There's 127. Got to do this tomorrow. This is what I'll do on Thursday. Then also the variant cover. Oh, that's not it. Variant cover. There. So more like that. I've got another version of that, don't I? Variant cover copy. Variant cover copy. How about this? Nope, that's not it. Well, where do I have? Huh. I don't think I have. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. The variant copy is right here. And that's what it looks like. Okay, that's the variant copy cover. I just did a variant cover just to see what it looked like when I start to putting together the comics, so that I have a print copy. So this is just a mock-up. Yeah, this is the typeface I've been using I did for the splash screen, so I might as well just keep that. Though I did find some really cool EC fonts that I can use because I have yeah, not anime. Is it Anime Ace? Yeah, it might be. No, that's Monster Mash, which is so absolutely wacko cool. And let me see, I'll do it as a 60 point. So, well, how are you, boy? There. Yeah, I must have this as a white. Anyway, this is sort of like my variant. Some of my chapters are going to just have different variants of font faces because I just don't want it to be the same thing all the time. Anyway, I found this, and you can do all types of cool things with this. And let me see, I need to turn this into a CMYK and don't flatten it. Okay, so so I can blend this by putting a color overlay on it. Yep, and then I put a stroke on it. And if I wanted to, I'm not going to do it because I can put an inner shadow. Normal. Ooh, that's nice. Kind of make it kind of. That doesn't look too bad. Anyway, I might do that for some of my other. Anyway, I'm having fun, and if you're not having fun, you should probably be doing it. At least not at my time in life. So here I am. So I will see you guys on Thursday tomorrow. I'll be busy. So I hope Hasma, I hope I answered your question, and maybe I'll try to look at do one of my shows maybe this week. I'll see what print versions look like, what size though they should be. Okay, so you guys all take it easy and don't take any wood nickels because they don't make them anymore. Okay, bye bye.